Sadruddin Tahiri, composer, musician, and music instructor for more than 45 years. Today, I want to talk about steps involved uh, in creating several musical masterpieces. Uh, I tell them one by one. One of the most influenced masterpiece in the music world is the song Shape of My Heart by Sting. Shape of My Heart is a meditative acoustic ballad built on Dominic Miller's uh, now legendary guitar pattern, exploring themes of this song exploring themes of fate, chance, uh, identity, and search for meaning. Later, becoming globally famous through its use on Leon, the professional. Leon, the professional movie. Sting and Dominic Miller were experimenting with guitar pattern in Miller's apartment. Experimenting with, they were in Miller's apartment. Miller played a descending uh, circular arpeggio that immediately caught Sting's attention. Immediately caught Sting's attention. And then Sting said, uh, I know instantly it was special, um, and told to Dominic, don't play it for anyone else, please. The personnel of the song are Sting on vocal and bass guitar, Dominic Miller on guitar, Vinnie Colaluta on drums, David Sanchez keyboards, Brantford Marsalia on saxophone. Saxophone. Now, meaning and symbolism. Meaning, the word of faith with free will, with free will, the search for truth, emotional, vul- vulnerability, 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 emotional. The mask people wear, the mask people wear. The paradox of logic with feeling. The card player is a philosophical archetype, not a gambler, not a gambler. The card player is a philosophical archetype, not a gambler. The cultural impact. One of the Sting's most streamed song, used in dozens of films, TV shows, and sampled by many artists. Sampled by many artists. Guitar pattern studied by musicians worldwide. It is very powerful and beautiful pattern. So it studied by musicians worldwide. The legacy. Uh, Shape of My Heart is considered one of the Sting's greatest compositions. Exactly. A masterpiece of acoustic songwriting. Masterpiece of acoustic songwriting. Uh, Another a modern standard for guitarist. Another standard for guitarist. A philosophical pop classic. Defining moments in 1990s music. Another work, another masterpiece. This is Englishman in New York. It became a major hit in Europe. This song, Englishman in New York, became a major hit, especially Germany, Germany and Italy. Later remixed into a dance version. Later remixed into a dance version. Um, Dance version. That happened. That topped chart in several countries. That top charts in several countries. Now, cultural impact became an anthem for LGBTQ. Identity Thought Stings wrote it as a tribute to Crisp, not as popular, for tribute to Crisp. Used in film, TV shows, and commercials too. Also. The legacy. Once the Stings, one of the Stings' signature songs, A timeless celebration of individuality, a musical portrait of Quentin Crisp, Quentin Crisp's courage and ele, elegana, elegance. Courage and elegance. Another masterpiece by Sting is Fragile. Fragile is a bossa nova ballad from Sting's album Nothing Like the Sun. The album Nothing Like the Sun. Written in memory of Ben Lender, an American engineer killed in Nicaragua. The song blend Latin guitar, jazz, phrasing, and humanitarian theme, becoming one of the Sting's most performed and beloved works. The song written after the murder of Ben Leader Crisp, a young American engineer working on hydroelectronics project in Nicaragua. Linder was killed by Contra, Contra, Contra force in 1978. Sting was deeply affected by the tragedy and wrote Fragile as a tribute to fragility of human life. Fragility of fragility of human life. The sinlessness of violence. Sinlessness of violence. The hope that compassion can survive. The hope that compassion can survive. The lyrics and meaning. The song reflection is human fragility, the cycle of violence, the pain of loss, the pain of loss, the hope for peace, the hope for peace. The idea that nothing comes violence and nothing ever could. And now another masterpiece is Message in the Bottle by Sting. Is the opening track and lead single from the Police band, which Sting was there, the Police. Police's album written by Sting. It uses a driving guitarist and reggae and rock rhythm, to tell story about isolation and the universal search for connection. Connection. It became the band's first UK number one hit and one of the most iconic rock song ever recorded. One of the iconic rock songs ever recorded. Now, cultural impacts, 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 in face, face, culture. One of the greatest rock songs ever written. One of the greatest rock song ever written. A defining track of the now new wave era. A defining track of the new wave era. A staple of guitar virtuos. Legacy. The Police signature song. One of the Sting's greatest compositions, a timeless rock classic, a perfect fusion of reggae rhythm and rock power. Reggae rhythm and rock power. Now another masterpiece. This is Every Breath You Take. Written by Sting during a painful divorce. During a painful divorce. Despite sounding romantic, it's actually about obsession. Despite sounding romantic, it is actually about obsession, survival, surveillance, and control. Every breath you take. Meaning and themes. Meaning, obsession, to control. Surveillance. 3. Possessiveness. Possessiveness. Disclosed. Discussed as devotion. It, now chart performance. It was, it became number one Billboard Hot 100 for Hot 100 song for 8 weeks. Number one on Billboard. And number one UK single chart. Uh, One of the most played song in radio history. Radio history. One of the most played songs in radio history. Over 15 million radio plays. Became became the biggest hits of 1983. Um, Legacy. One of the greatest songs ever written. One of the greatest songs ever written. The Police signature track. The Police Band signature track. A masterpiece of minimalist songwriting. A timeless exploration of emotional darkness. It remains Sting's most commercially successful composition. Commercially successful composition. Now, another masterpiece track by another artist. Frozen by Madonna. Blending trip hop, trip hop, ambient, electronica, and sweeping arc, uh, or sweeping orchestration, and blending trip hop, ambient, electronica, sweeping orchestration. The song became a global hit, and one of Madonna's most critically acclaimed works, critically acclaimed works. Meaning and themes, emotional coldness, fear of vulnerability, vulnerability, spiritual awakening, compassion of empathy, compassion of empathy. The idea that love melts emotional barriers. Love melts emotional barriers. Now chart performance. Number one in UK single chart. Number one in UK single chart. Number two in United States Billboard Hot 100. Hot 100 songs. Number one in multiple countries, means Italy, Spain, and Finland. Multiple countries. Number one. One of Madonna's biggest 1990s hits. Cultural impact. A masterpiece of 90s electronic pop, a turning point in Madonna's artistic evolution. Madonna's artistic evolution. A spiritual anthem of emotional awakening. One of her most critically acclaimed songs. Now, the legacy. Legacy. One of Madonna's greatest songs, a landmark in electronics pop, a symbol of her spiritual and artistic rebirth. Spiritual and artistic rebirth. A timeless exploration of emotional vulnerability. Vulnerability. Now, another